Simgigat, Sigramana, Hanitsnism, Gobawilksit. Luaman Frakada Muluti Hokskum, El Sagon. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen, chiefs, matriarchs, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries. It was a real honor to be back with you again. The dancers that have made it up this year, this is their first time up to Juneau. And we just arrived at 3:45 this morning. So I look a little bleary-eyed. Overlook it. We are just really honored to be here. When I first started here, I always told the Nisga'a about my experiences here in Juneau and in Alaska. The urban Nisga'a wanted to also learn who they are, where they came from, what they were, what their ancestors used to do. And we have about 165 members. But due to work and school, I'm really happy that these members were able to make it, and they were the fortunate ones. This is a real blessing to each and every one of them, to be able to unite with you in spirit, songs, and dances. The first thing we do wherever we go, the Nisga'a always gather the swans down. This means peace, a peaceful gathering. And we will go right into our peace song. Our next one is the Chief's song and dance. This is dedicated to all the Simgigat, the chiefs. past and future and today. And this is dedicated to all of you. We will now do the Ancestor song. One of our young chiefs, Chief Mountain, had a dream, and then he telephoned me and told me about his dream. He said our ancestors were crying. He said, you people are just getting all mixed up, the young people. And he phoned me and he was just really sad. He said it was so real. So I told him I would compose a song and call it the Wet'n'Gigyat, the Ancestors. In the second part, we answer them back and reassure them that we are not mixed up. Here we are. Here we are. We did not get lost. And the blue mask that the masked dancer will be using also came from a dream. My daughter Arlene had a dream. And so it is a spirit mask, and that's the reason why it's blue. And the spirit mask that she dreamt about was blue. So we will do the Wet'n'Gigyat song. A lot of you might have remembered my little humble beginnings here in Juneau, my children and grandchildren. And there are two boys here that have been in the Marines, and one has graduated and was in Haskell. They were just little tiny little guys when they first danced here on the stage. And they used to do the Beaver and the Porcupine. And this was a favorite among the children in the audience. I still have memories of all the kids lining up at the stage here. So at this time, we will do the Beaver and the Porcupine. A moral story for the children. Whenever our ancestors or Wakangigat saw that it was time to teach the children right from wrong, they would take them for a walk and tell them a story, this story, or sit by the fire, or are working together. So we will do for you now, it's a Melchan Acht. One day, Beaver was out walking, and he saw his friend, the porcupine. And he said, "Hi, friend." And he said, "What are you doing?" And Porcupine said, "Oh, I'm just out playing." Beaver said, "I saw a really nice tree over there. It looks like a lot of fun." So they said, "Okay," and they went over. Porcupine said, "I'll climb up first." But Beaver said, "I can't climb trees. Beavers don't climb trees." And he said, "Don't worry, I'll carry you on my back." And finally the Beaver said, "Okay." So he got on his back, and they climbed up. They climbed way up in this nice big tall tree. And when they got up to this nice tall branch, they climbed out. And there they sat. So Porcupine said, "I'll roll down first. And while I'm rolling, I'll sing a song. Andy Belach. Belach is moss and light as a feather. You won't get hurt." So he let go of the branch and he started rolling and singing.
Andy Belach, Andy Belach, Andy Belach. Andy Belach, Andy Belach, Andy Belach. Andy Belach, Andy Belach, Andy Belach.
He fell down light as a feather. He didn't get hurt. And he looked up and he said, "Now it's your turn." But Beaver said, I'm scared. Porcupine said, oh, hurry up. My mother is calling. I'm hungry. I have to go home. Just let go of the branch and start rolling. So he let go of the branch and he started rolling. Porcupine started singing. He fell hard as a rock. La'op in Nisga'a means rock. He was knocked out cold. That porcupine was so happy at the trick he played on his friend. He started singing and dancing and laughing. And then he went on his way. After a while, Beaver woke up. He came to. And he was out walking again several weeks later. And again, he met his friend. And he said, what are you doing? And Porcupine said, oh, I'm just at the edge of the lake, looking for something good to eat. And Beaver said, I know a really nice island out there. It's a lot of fun. But Porcupine said, I can't swim. Porcupines don't swim. Beaver said, don't worry. I'll carry you on my back. Whenever you run out of breath, scratch the back of my neck and we'll come up for air. And he said, okay. So he got on his back and they went down. Porcupine started scratching. They came up. They went down again. Porcupine started scratching. He was running out of air again, so they came up. Beaver was having so much fun. He went down deeper this time. He just went way down. Porcupine scratched and scratched and scratched. He was out of air. He passed out cold on Beaver's back. And finally they came to this island. And he just dumped his friend off. Beaver played all day until dusk. He had a lot of fun. He was happy. He went on home. Several days later, that poor little porcupine finally came to. He was wet and cold and hungry. He was miserable. He couldn't swim ashore. He didn't know what to do. Then he thought about what his grandfather told him. He said, I know what I'll do. I'll sing to the falling star and the north wind. They'll come and help me. So he started singing. And he cried. The wind started to blow. Ice was starting to form, so he sang a little louder this time. And he cried. The ice was now thick. He sang louder. The ice was really thick now. He can now go home. He was so happy he even skated home. He was still singing. He is now home. But guess what, kids? It wasn't time for winter yet. It was still fall time. Beaver wasn't prepared for winter. He didn't have anything stored away for the winter time. He was stuck under the ice. All winter long, he was stuck under the ice. Finally, springtime came, and the ice started to break. Then poor Beaver finally came out. He was wet and cold and hungry. He was miserable. Our Watangigiyat said, our ancestor said, you don't pick on one another. You don't play tricks on one another. You don't talk about one another. Because they said it always comes back to you. I even add the scripture in the Bible that you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In other words, kids, it means that you treat others like you want them to treat you. At this time, we will do the song of glad dancing. And I'll introduce the group one at a time. When one is coming out, I'll introduce the next one, and it'll be just a rotation, so it wouldn't take long. But I thought I would honor them for being willing to come, and they are just really in awe of what is happening. And they feel it. And I know they will always remember this as long as they live, and they in turn will pass it on to their next generation and on to come. So at this time, we will do the Nisga'a song of glad dancing. Is that Elder Dorothy Young. My daughter, Carolyn Eldridge. My niece, Noreen Otnes. Bonnie Nelson. Daughter Dana Nelson. Angie Nelson. Alicia? Oh, who is sleeping right now? He's of the killer whale clan. Ada Watts, Beaver clan. Jason Watts, one of the Chiefs dancers. Franklin Alexey. My grandson, Jake Wagner. Ron D'Angeli. Jonathan Watt. Billy Nelson. Chris Nelson. Saul Doolan. He's a wolf clan, as you can see. Our two chiefs on the podium right now, or three. Waksu Morris Haldane of the Wolf Clan. Reggie D'Angeli. Our other chief who is drumming, Reuben Morgan. Harvey Watts Sr. Harvey Watts Jr. Our traditional box drummer, Kevin Bell. My lead drummer since time immemorial in my time, Arlene Hollywood, my youngest daughter, and one of our original drummers here in Juneau, my oldest daughter, Jane D'Angeli. Yours truly, Louise Martin D'Angeli, our leader instructor. I can't dance too well. I'm due to little crippling. We will leave you with a spiritual song. As you all know, the First Nations people have always been spiritual. And we always do a spiritual song at the end of our performances. And today we will do Amazing Grace once in English and twice in Nisga'a.
I once was lost.
like Wasu to say a few words on our behalf.
Thank you, Louise. Ladies and gentlemen, Christian friends, I was going to talk in my language, but time is getting short. As you know, we had quite some time trying to get our people to remember what our grandfathers did. You all know what happened, especially our area, where we lost everything. Everything. Some of them were burned. I remember watching them burning the masks. My grandfather's treasured blanket like this was made in Tongas. Beautiful. And my grandfather's blanket, I've been looking for 2 or 3 years now trying to find it. The white man wouldn't let me have it. They kept telling me there's somewhere else. It was stolen. It's one of the original chit-chat blankets, square one. It was made 2 places, Tongas and Nash River. We are the people, most you see here are Tlingit Nisga's. We're descendants of Tlingits. That's where my name comes from, Washu. All our names are all from Tlingits. They took it along with them when they went up the Nash River. It's too long for me to tell you how it happened, where we came from, original. And I have some families in Ketchikan, most of us. I have an auntie here, Esther Shea. She's one of my family. I have a few that's still there. And that's why we really wanted to be here with you, to share with you what you are doing. We hear so much of it, and we've seen it on tapes, and we enjoy watching them. Like this dance before this, it amazed me, because some of the songs I hear it before. So I start thinking, we're the Tlingits, that's why we knew it. And that we're so happy, and I'm thankful to be here with you, and I will let my people know what we've seen. And we so enjoy being with you. I enjoy meeting most of you, and I wish to thank you, and I'm so glad to be with you once again. Thank you.
Oiaksam gaan etksnism. Ramakul kakadan stimniskishlik yaksel meenam al gaan etksnism. May God's richest blessing be upon each and every one of you, and peace, His peace be with each and every one of you. And that His peace will just fall among us during this next 3 days of unity. What a thrill it is for the younger generation to see this for the first time. And we thank you very much. Oiaksam nism. Is that